Welcome to the Gold Museum in Bogota, Colombia, or as they call it, the Museo de Oro. This is the most popular museum in Bogota, which is the capital of Colombia. It's a really good museum. I definitely enjoyed it. South America doesn't always have the best museums, but this is one that I definitely think competes with the best. So it's got some really interesting things, and South America's loaded with gold. So they definitely took advantage of that. So here's a few of the cool statues that were outside. I thought these were interesting. I don't know the history. But anyway, let's go inside the vault here and let's look at the gold. So I went there on a Sunday when it was free, and it's free to go to all the museums in Bogota on Sunday. So there were lots of people. So that kind of works for and against this video. So there were lots of people. So it looks cool, but at the same time, it was hard for me to get to see lots of shots. But anyway, you can see here there's all sorts of different stuff, and like I said, I don't know the history of these. It's just fun to look at the gold. So like, what were those used for? Probably necklaces, but I'm not sure. But anyway, they're beautiful, and I definitely like that. So at the time I went, there were so many people that I couldn't read things because it was all in Spanish. So ahora mi español es mejor, pero at that time my Spanish was not good enough to read that. So it was basically me just looking at gold and me taking cool shots of it and me enjoying it. So I was in Bogota for 10 weeks, and this was my favorite museum that I saw. And I actually saw it like my first week in there. So there was not much to see after that. But anyway, it's in Candelaria, which is a pretty interesting place because it's really touristy and fun, but there's pickpockets everywhere. And yes, I was a victim of pickpocketing. They got my phone one day. So every time I went to Candelaria, I felt like I was going to get robbed. So I didn't really want to go to Candelaria even though it was actually a pretty fun place to go with lots of stuff. But who wants to go somewhere when you know every time you go you're going to be a target? So anyway, we're about to come up across the special exhibit they had there, which was an exhibit on slavery. And so South American slavery is something I know basically nothing about. I know it happened, but it's not something we really cover, which is interesting because slavery and reparations is a really complicated subject in the United States. But as far as South American slavery and what happened as far as people being brought from Africa, that's just not something we study in the United States. But ironically, almost 2.5 times as many Africans were taken to South America to be slaves as they were to North America. And it's just kind of interesting learning the differences between North and South American slavery, where there was a lot more down there, but in the North, we fought the whole Civil War over it, and we still can't resolve it, whereas in the South, slavery doesn't really seem to be something anybody's really beat up about. But then again, when you look at the entire history of South America, where the conquistadors came in and killed everybody, it's understandable that that's just one of many things that they had to deal with. So you could saw that collar was totally brutal. So you can imagine just how terrible it was. But anyway, I really enjoyed this exhibit. So now let's go to the gift shop. So I only show this gift shop because it was the coolest gift shop I've ever seen, because when you go to the Museum of Gold, you need to have a gold gift shop. So I felt like I was in a jewelry store, so I didn't buy anything because I didn't have a girlfriend at the time. But this place is just loaded with jewelry and real gold. So how often can you actually go to a jewelry store in a museum? So anyway, this is it. So I really hope you enjoyed watching this video and learned a couple things about Bogota. Bye.